Bud Light boycott. So the CEO is still trying to manage this one. I mean, I think that they are just blown away by everything that has happened. So he sat down with maybe what he perceived to be a friendly reporter there at the FT. The FT is the overseas publication, Financial Times, out of London. Interesting choice, right? As opposed to, say, a U.S. publication. But it is a multinational, global conglomerate, really at this point, a Brazilian company, don't forget, that bought AB, Anheuser-Busch, back in 2008 for some $52 billion. And so they're a big company. They got lots and lots of brands. And so he said to this reporter that really this was misinformation, that they have severed ties with the ad agency and that it was just one post. So in other words, we've gone from, yeah, we hired this ad agency and it was just one post to now it's just misinformation. Misinformation or not, the ad agency sent Dylan Mulvaney these lovely, lovely cans of Bud Light with Dylan's face. And let me see if I can pull that one up for you. Remember?
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness.
So that was it, the can with his face on it. So that's what really triggered this whole thing. And he was enough of an influencer that it really made an impact. And Bud Light drinkers, of course, as you know, are like, no, not having it. Not cool. Like, we're not going to have this stuff shoved down our throats, which is effectively sort of how they felt, how many of you felt. I get it. Believe me, I get it. I'm dealing with it on the Maybelline front. Thank you very much. The eyeliner, the makeup. Anyway, as a result now, the CEO is trying to manage this. And this is like a crisis that, frankly, I think ultimately he's now at risk of suffering from. I mean, when you see the share price fall the way this one has, and I'm just pulling up where it traded today, you're talking about a loss of some $4 billion. This is a staggering loss for a company that was doing okay up until this ordeal, losing ground yet again today in the market off 0.25%, $64.68 a share. It was upwards of 67 or hanging out around 67. So when you talk about that kind of loss, that is real money. And shareholders sitting there going, wait a second, maybe this CEO is not the right person for the job because he hasn't been able to manage this crisis. And so, from his view, he's saying it's misinformation. Look, this is what happens, okay? We're in a very global environment on the news front. We're in a very rapid environment on the news front, are we not? So in other words, the minute something gets tweeted, the minute something happens, you run that risk as a company or even as an individual of maybe something being misinterpreted. Hey, it happens. Been there, right? But what is so stunning about this now is the effort that's being made to kind of say, well, wait a second, it's just fake news. It's misinformation. No, it's not misinformation in that Bud Light somehow transacted with this ad agency who must have gotten some buy-in from the marketing departments, right? That's why 2 executives have lost their jobs at Bud Light. There was buy-in there, and they made a mistake, a huge, huge mistake. And they're going to continue paying the price. I mean, I've looked at the response of all of you, and you are so over this company. And I wonder, in some ways, whether it's going to spread beyond just Bud Light. So again, he's speaking to the Financial Times, shifting blame, saying it's really just misinformation. Misinformation. Well, we saw the clip. I mean, that is the clip, right? Right? That is the influencer that was paid.
Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for
somehow
us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which